What's going on? This is Winny and Kels. Today, we're going to be getting into the topic of apprehension in the dating market. You got anything on the topic?
Man, I got a lot on the topic, to be honest with you. You was telling me a story earlier. You want to reiterate?
Yeah, so essentially, I was on a dating site talking to this female. Well, not even talking to this female because it was the first message sent. Basically said something along the lines of, "Oh man, it's crazy that you are unmarried and have no kids." Later 30s, mid to late 30s, I'm in my early 30s. Maybe she took it wrong or saw it as a slight. I'm not sure why she would take it as a slight. I think her mind frame was in the wrong place. Her
Why you say that?
response was basically, if I had a tribe or if I'd been married before, you'd have something to say about that as well.
Oh, defensive.
But a little bit defensive. I feel like it was maybe lack of experience in the dating market, not really picking up what I was putting down. And when I had told you, you called that you understood where she was coming from, and I understood where she was coming from as well. But I think the mind frame that she was in was more or less, this is a battle as opposed to you're meeting somebody new, which I feel like is super prevalent in modern dating.
And she hit you
I,
up first, or you had
uh,
already?
well, it's neither here nor there. She liked me first, and then I swiped back on her. So not my first choice, I would say, but there's nothing wrong with her. Nice looking girl, um, in shape, seemed pretty nice from the bio and everything. But I guess don't judge a book by its cover, right?
Absolutely.
Not that she was not nice. I think that she was just maybe had been in the wrong frame of mind, and things get lost in translation as well. But I think it lends itself to the theme of just apprehension overall on men and women's sides. I think that there's no real way to go about meeting someone the first time and seeing their intentions and seeing everything that's floating through their mind just off the rip. I think you got to let everything gestate, and most people aren't willing to buy in for that long, just due to said it was a dating app. So there's plenty of options out there.
Absolutely. There's plenty of options now. Did you take it the wrong way, or did you understand where she was coming from?
I think a bit of both. I don't think I saw where she was coming from off rip, but I think after you framed it for me, absolutely I can see maybe she took it a certain way, but usually I'm not really into dating anybody who doesn't have a secondary. This could be a slight, but let me dig a little deeper. There wasn't even a curiosity to say, well, what did you mean by that? Type of thing. It was just, oh, I know exactly what you mean. Let me put my guard up. Let me put my dukes up and see. You get what I mean? There was
Exactly.
no
She said,
real dialogue. It was more or less just flat out, I know what you mean, defensiveness.
I get that, and I told you earlier, it definitely sound like defensiveness, and it could be part of the reason why she's not involved in anybody. It couldn't be. It sounds like she had to adjust a lot in her lifetime. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not saying she's almost in her 40s, from what
Yeah.
I understand. That's a lot of life to live. So with that, it's some trauma there, some hurt feelings, and some past things that you won't know until you digest it if you choose to. But it definitely is the wrong way to introduce yourself, especially even if you didn't get the question, ask it back. What do you mean by that? You know what I mean? Or say, no, I think I'm doing pretty good for somebody my age without those burdens, and just make it like a joke
Yeah,
and
it's
play
more of a,
along with it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
just playful banter in general, which I feel like is missing from the modern dating market. I feel like playful banter isn't really there. You have a sector of people who are like, what can you do for me? Which is all fine and dandy, but you gotta learn the person that you're talking to and then start from there, as opposed to what can you do for me, or I feel like you're coming at me this direction or that direction. There has to be some sort of communication. I think you said the word communication when I was telling you about it, and I think that's what it really boils down to.
it's a lack of communication in the community, period. And it's not just the Black community, it's all over. Social media has become this huge platform for people to be who they want to be, whether they're lying or they're telling the truth or in between. It's a little bit of both, right? So what happens with the barriers, man, what happens to the phone conversations? They're not phone conversations no more. They're texting. We're texting. And I told you I'm a horrible texter.
Right.
I cannot, but if you put me on the phone, man, I'm classic. I'm old school. But I know in a certain dynamic, I have to get with the times and just be like, all right, I got to be a little better at this texting thing in order to keep up. But it's my choice, and I choose not to. Personally, I like the personal experience. I like to hear the person's voice, hear a bit of the person's personality. And I think, with online dating, I would definitely try it, but to say I will be successful at it is an understatement. Just to give you a little example, if I was to go out into the dating world, and right now I'm not too focused on it, but if I was to go out in the dating world, that might be my only option. You know what I mean? Other than meeting somebody in person, seeing what they look like up front, and being okay with that instead of being surprised at the end.
Right. Because it can be a crapshoot, but I think your odds are way better online just because of the amount. A lot of people say for men, it's a numbers game because women just have a plethora of options, a plethora of places they can go. Woman just has to walk around and they can meet men. But men, we got to see what we like, make sure everything is good, and then approach. I feel like the dating market or the online dating game, you get to vet people prior to even engaging with them. And you both know up front, if you just see a pretty girl, most pretty girls have some demons going on, lurking in the background.
100%, man.
For sure.
100%.
So just the decent feeling that you get, I'm not wasting my time here. As you walk up to a pretty girl at a bar, she may have 10 kids at home, about 15 dudes, or she may have the household just upside down, or crippling debt, or crazy just in general, or anything distasteful, or somebody may not want to even date. You can see that on full display, even if people try to cover it up on dating websites. You can still see whether it's the pictures that they post or the bio or the things that they enjoy doing. You can kind of vet those people out and get straight to this is the cream of the crop as far as I'm concerned. The type of women, or for females, the type of men that you want to be engaging with, and then you go from there.
I got my phone. I'm gonna pose a question to you.
Go for it.
Do you think it's ill of a man to say, hey, in his profile, dating online, I prefer to talk to a woman without kids, and that is my preference. So if you can honor that, we can move forward. Do you think that's a little bit too much for him to say?
I don't think so. I think because it's a two-sided thing, because women say the same things, whether it's I don't want a man with with no house or no car or no job, which is fair. I don't want a man with, some women say they don't want men with kids. But it's all fair is in love and war, right? I think that you should lead with exactly what you want so that there's no apprehension. A lot of people get caught up in just falling in love with somebody or being into somebody without knowing the full picture. And then once those things pop up, or just even finding out something and not speaking up, and then down the line it doesn't work out, when in reality that wasn't your person anyway. You should have spoke up prior to. I think being upfront and honest on the front end is the best way to go. That's always the way that I've done it. So if I don't have something, I don't say it. If I do have something, I do say it. That's just the way it's got to be, because it'll never work out if it's based in a lie.
Okay, so I got another question for you. Do you think men and women, today's dating market, are being upfront with each other?
In a sense, I think most people are online dating, and I think online dating doesn't really give you any wiggle room to lie. If you got kids, they ask you, do you have kids? We don't put this on your profile. Do you smoke? Do you drink? What do you look like? Put several pictures up. There's no way around it now. As opposed to you walk up to somebody, you don't know them from Adam and Eve. It's just Hey, can I get your number? And then maybe you might talk. And some women don't even want to talk on the phone because I don't know if it's the maybe an anxiety thing, an anxious thing, or what, or maybe people aren't
Kids
used to
running
speaking
around
on
in
the
the
phone.
background. That's what it is.
What? Kids running around the background. No, for sure, that could be a thing too. But I, I think a lot of people try to hide behind the online dating as well,
Mm-hmm.
and it's extremely easy to hide in person. So you just gotta pick your poison.
Give me a little bit more of understanding. Like I said, I'm an in-person guy. Yes, it is a lot more to hide because it's not as much time to vet the person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can see people in passing. So when you see them in passing, you're like, hey man, I like you look, she get the vibes, she gives you the number, y'all hit each other up later on. At that time, you already passed the first stage. You know what I mean? You got the number. Now y'all talking. Now it's the point of what she wants to tell you or what he wants to tell you versus what you already know.
Right. And I think that was what we went into after I told you that story. You were like, so well, why did you even like her back? And I was going through the profile. She had this and this, good shape, the education piece, the what else? The teacher. Remember I was telling you
Yeah,
teacher,
she had a
and
lot
you
of
kind of were
pros with her.
saying what just things that would lend themselves to somebody who's in my eyes the things that I'm looking for: somebody responsible, somebody with a career, somebody who's
Right.
got their head on straight, somebody who can thrive in an environment with other people, bouncing off of other people. And that's an admirable profession as well. Like being a teacher, that's one of the top professions that you can be as far as keying in onto what type of person you are. Usually bad people don't say, oh, I want to become a teacher. You get what I mean?
You'd be surprised.
No, no,
But
no, absolutely. But by and large, most
no.
teachers are going to be pleasant people or people who just want to help, and that's the type of person that I'm looking for. Not
Right.
saying I'm looking for the teachers with a flashlight in the daytime, but you know what I mean. It's like a clue
Y'all
to
heard it here first. He's looking for the teachers, man.
yeah, all the
That-
teachers
Give me all the
come through.
degrees and all the teachers.
Let me get that $30,000 checkup off you.
Oh man, all day. But now it's funny because yes, surface everything looks square, everything looks good, but
Mm.
mentally, man, that's where the struggle lies. And she already showed where her mental fortitude is just by the answer she gave.
Mm.
So I'm pretty sure, knowing you probably already eliminated her completely. Am I
Yes,
right or
absolutely.
wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely. It's out of here. But that's just a matter of, and that's the leg up that in the modern dating market, online dating gives you, where it's like, you don't want a chick with kids, or you don't want a chick who's a nurse. I know a lot of dudes say they wouldn't date a nurse. You don't want a chick who's a nurse. She has nurse in her occupation line on a dating website. Swipe left or whatever. Hit the X.
Right. It's good when she's saving lives, but when she catching bodies while she's saving lives, man, it's
It's a
questionable.
different thing. But that's the leg up that it gives you. That's why I felt like any dude trying to get out there and go find their person, you would be missed in skipping over online dating because it's a wider pool. You're seeing what's out there. And when you walk up to a chick in person, that's fine and dandy. You should be able to approach a female if you're going out that much. But if you got a 9 to 5 and you're trying to get your stuff together, you don't really have time to just be hanging out in bars or hanging out at the church or hanging out at the library or hanging out in the parking lot waiting for the one to just come strolling by. That's not really how it works. That's not how it works anymore. So
Absolutely.
you
And you
got
know, what's funny about that is you kind of become a spokesmodel right now for online dating. And it's kind of funny. It's
well,
like
it's not a
you're trying
spokesman.
to
I mean, it's
sell me
just
a gimmick here, man.
well, not so much you, just advice in general. I think it's a numbers game for dudes.
Yeah.
Female, you don't. How many in the past week? How many women have walked up to you and said, "Hey, what's going on? Nice to meet you. What's your name? Where you from? What do you do?"
I don't believe women do that at all, regardless.
And I guarantee
uh,
you, if there's 1,000 men watching this, 1,000 men can say the same exact thing.
exactly.
That's just the way the
Because it goes back to a man's role. The
mhm.
man is supposed to be the person that approach that makes the advance, and the
Yeah,
woman
it's supposed to be
is,
domineering.
It's up to the woman to say yes or no. So with that being said, it sounds like a good way to go when it comes down to dating. And to be honest with you, man, the dating market has become more of a event and stressful than it used to be, like fun and enjoyable.
Right.
Because people are looking for so much out of each other. And women are coming through with their laundry list of requirements, and men are coming through with sometimes the bare minimum, because we really don't need much unless we're that type of person, that type of man that doesn't have much to offer. We need a little bit more guidance and a little bit more care. But at the end of the day, I think that the dating market has become the new gladiator matches between male and female.
That's well put. Because in my mind, when we were thinking of the title, I was thinking men versus women, and not in a way of fighting each other, but in a way of who's trying to get over on who, essentially. Who's going to get the most out of this thing we have here? You get what I mean? I feel like that's definitely what it's become. That's well put, for sure.
I think one of my favorite J. Cole's line is, "Don't save her. She don't want to be saved." And there's a lot of women that do not want to be saved, but they want to use up the assets that is available to them to gain other means.
Right. Which is technically all dating is. That is, if you believe in the traditional dynamic of woman needs a man, and then y'all go together and make a life. Woman needs a man, needs a woman. Woman needs the resources. Man needs the anchor back at the home or at the home base. And I think that it's not a bad thing.
But it becomes transactional.
When it's put in a transactional way, or a transactional frame of mind, where it's like, if you don't got $10,000 in your pocket and you don't got a Benz, and when it becomes that type of thing, where it's like, oh, you're looking for a meal ticket as opposed to somebody to build with, then that's when it becomes transactional and weird and off-putting, which I can understand not wanting to be a part of the whole thing in general, and just waiting in the wind for something to walk by, because that seems like, honestly, a better situation. This is a better situation, waiting for the chicken, the frozen food aisle to walk past. Oh, there goes the perfect girl right there.
Right. So you think,
but because it's the more daunting it becomes when you start to see just the volume of females who have that mindset, and the volume of women who don't meet the criteria that you want. You start to see, oh, this is an actual hard and daunting experience. I think you said that before too. It's a daunting thing to date nowadays.
Absolutely. And it comes down to the old statement that they used to have when they said to the point of, goodness, I lost my footing. Anyway, just to sum it up a little bit, it comes down to,
what are you trying to get at?
You know, when something can be a tongue and you had it in your head and you just lose it and just like, I'm having that moment.
You talking about the dynamic of dating, or how people are acting when they're dating? What do you mean?
It's hurt people. There we go. Hurt people. And I think what happens in the dating market, it is more of a necessity to have a spouse than it is about love or whatever like that. Now it becomes, all right, one drop. This is directed at my females, because a lot of you guys do this, and a lot of males do it too, but not to the extent of the females. So if you're just getting out of a relationship and you already vetting someone else, not even months or weeks later, it can be sometimes the same day, it can be in the midst of the relationship, because they say in a relationship, it's a proven fact, the first thing that goes for a female is her emotions and feelings about you. And she will sit there and she will be in it, but she's not really in it. And when people come around to new dating prospects, male and female, and they're unhealed, right? And they're not really seeing the potential in that person because they still look in their wounds. And when people come together, two people that's unhealed does not end in holy matrimony, because you're coming in with baggage from a past experience and you're holding on to that, whether you're holding on to how much you still love that person or you're holding on to how much that person still hurt you. You're not coming in fully healed. So people coming in half-ass, they're never going to reap the benefits of a full, fulfilling relationship, period.
Absolutely. I think that's a nice thought, but I think in my experience, you'll rarely find somebody who, and when I say rare, I mean one in a thousand, who is fully healed, has everything going on, everything is good, everything's on the up and up type of thing. I think willingness to work with somebody who is imperfect and acknowledging your imperfection is more rewarding when it comes to a relationship than finding somebody who's fully healed or who says they're fully healed and making a deal, making that transaction.
To a
Yeah.
degree, I agree with you. Other topic, I don't agree with you. The reason why, in the degree that I feel that people should come together and build a life together, focusing on what's happening now, not what happened then. And where I don't agree with you is that toxic traits.
Oh,
And
see, you're using buzzwords. Nobody said anything about toxic. See, what I'm
all right,
saying
so
is,
certain traits still sticks around, and it just comes out in different forms.
yeah,
Like
I mean, that's just
trauma never
human.
changes; it just gets older.
That's just human beings. We're all born of being born is a
Right.
traumatic experience. Going to school is a traumatic experience. Leaving the home for the first time is a traumatic experience. Going off to college, all these things are traumatic. So everybody has these things built up. But part of being a productive member of society and somebody who is in the dating market and looking for something more, looking for somebody to create a union with and build with and work with, because the world, especially America for sure, is built, it's a two-person game. It's a multiplayer game. It's not built for one person, realistically. The way that taxes are, the way that homes are, the way that everything works is two people and a family. That's just the bottom line. And anybody coming to the table with good intentions, I think is good for that market. Good intentions, good mind frame. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be without any fault. That's not what anybody's looking for. I don't think
It
anybody truly comes to a dating website or goes out and says, I'm looking for a person who's perfect. Maybe look a couple delusional people for sure, but nobody in their right mind says, I'm looking for somebody who's perfect and without fault
That's the
in
thing.
that sense.
It's not saying looking for somebody perfect, because nobody on this earth is
Mm.
perfect by any means. And you got you. I feel you understand where I'm coming from, but you can miss it on the back end. What I'm trying to say is that feelings, feeling unresolved things, like you knew when you left a certain relationship that you did things that wasn't great for the relationship, right?
Mm.
You did things, you went out and you probably slept with somebody. You could have did anything that hindered the growth of the relationship, put each other down, or because you have a past trauma, somebody putting you down. These are unhealed feelings that will not be beneficial to any relationship moving forward, because you're going to still be in that mindset. You just move into different pieces.
Well, and that's the thing. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is coming into a relationship, there is nobody who doesn't have no. I've yet to meet a person. I've met plenty of people, whether
Mm-hmm.
it be in the dating market or just as an adult moving through life, shifting through the different phases of life. There's not anybody who doesn't have an undesirable trait, whether it be from trauma, their past relationship. I believe in. Have you ever seen in Atlanta, Donald Glover's or Childish Gambino's show? There's a
Right.
part where he goes to a therapist, and the therapist says, um, "Oh, you don't think people can be good or kind or does? You don't trust this, you don't trust that." He's like, I trust people to be human. So even that off chance a girl is stuck on somebody from the past, or maybe a dude is stuck on something from his childhood, or a female is stuck on used to get made fun of, or that whatever trauma people come with, you have to trust that humans are going to be humans. People are going to have faults, and people are going to have things that are counteractive to a relationship. Absolutely. But the only thing that matters is that good faith. Obviously, you want to minimize that for sure. You want to minimize the amount of bad things that the partner that you decide to go forward with has, but it's not possible to negate all of those things. If you do that, you'll be looking until you're in a casket. It just doesn't work. So I understand your point, but it's just not conducive to anything. You'll just be wasting your time trying to even look for somebody with the minimum amount of traumas.
So let me put it to you in this format, because you're right there still, but you're still not really, you're not locking in with me where I need you to be. So all right, so peep game. So if I'm sitting up here, right, when I say unhealed trauma, unresolved things, it's personally for self-growth and self-preservation at that time. I'm not telling you to go into a relationship and be the absolute perfect person, because you can't be. You're going to have flaws. You're going to have triggers. Things are going to be brought to the light, but it's the way you handle them. It's the way you go about it. It's the growth that you had in between the breakup, relationship, moving on, things like that. And that's what I mean by working toward to be that type of person and be healed in those ways. So I'm dealing with my weight. I'm dealing with I used to lie a lot, or I used to be a narcissist, or I used to have all these negative traits that didn't give me a great outcome in my relationship. So these are the things that I want to move forward from by working on and working through. I can't heal or fix everything. No, I cannot. But I can absolutely fix the parts that I can see. And that's basically what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
I think that comes to being honest as well. I think along with identifying those things within yourself and fixing them yourself, if you're in a partnership with somebody, you should be able to tell them the truth and tell them, hey, you're fucking up. This is where you're lacking. I think that's a large part of a relationship too. Making the person that you decide to be with better, trying to move forward together and telling each other the truth and being honest both ways. Hey, you're messing up. Hey, yeah, this is off or that is off. Trying to progress. And I think those are harmful, but they can make a bond stronger if you have the right frame of mind, which is why I referenced the good faith, being in good faith, and moving into saying, like, even though they might say, even if this person tells me what's wrong with myself, I need that.
Right, because a person that can tell you about yourself is a person that really loves you.
That actually cares.
I agree about that 100%. And I had the privilege of being with people and have people in my life like that can hold me accountable for my nonsense, and especially from a relationship standpoint. You know what I mean? And that's when I knew that they really was down for me. So that kind of made me want to go harder for them.
And that makes you want to, exactly, that makes you want to go harder. That makes you want to be like, this person sees that in me. They know that I can do this. So let me try a little bit hard. And that's what I feel like is the positive. But the conversation we were having before, well, we're not even getting there in the modern dating market. You rarely see people who are even progressing to that point where it's like, they're really building together. They're becoming different people because of each other. They're becoming better because of each other.
They would rather walk away.
Because the options are endless now, and that's a pitfall. I know you were saying that I'm advertising. I got a red suit on. Tinder spokesman. It's like, I think that's a big negative of I'd say the modern dating market in general. Because even if you are a person who goes out 3-4 times a week and tries to meet people as much as possible in person, if I'm going out Thirsty Thursdays at the Bungalow Swim Club.
Oh man, Thursdays was working until you said Bungalow Swim Club.
At the Bungalow, well, I'm just making up a thing. Like the whatever event at the whatever club or
right,
day spa, whatever it is. if I'm meeting a person, oh, she's all right. You don't have much to go based off rip. You're meeting this one person in this one specific scenario, and usually drinks are going to be involved, or even just the vibe of the place that you're at is going to make people act a little bit different than how they normally would. And you're going to start thinking, well, I met this chick yesterday at Wet Willie's Wednesday, or I'm going to meet this chick tomorrow at Freak Off Friday. You know what I mean? The options are freaking endless. They never stop. And I think that's where it comes in. That's where good faith comes in as well. Let me see if I can work with this person. This person has this is the threshold. They meet the threshold or exceed it. Let me see if I can make it work with this person. I feel like a lot of people see that as settling, and they see settling as a bad thing. But if you, that's how you become that defensive 30-something-year-old lady on the dating app, by not saying this person is good enough. Let me move forward, because you could have been married 7, 8 years ago. You could be married with kids by now.
Right.
But the mindset of I can do better, it'll throw you in a loop that's counterproductive to what you say that you want.
Absolutely. And what is really settling is when people don't meet the requirements on your list. That is settling for a lot of people. And that's what they think settling is. It's not meeting somebody, getting to know somebody, and starting to mold and mend to the lifestyle that they have so y'all can grow and be better. It's because he didn't have this, he didn't have that. So now I'm settling.
Yeah.
That man or woman can have a great job, have a good career, you know what I mean? Has no kids, good health care. Just the fact is they don't make, let's say, 80 grand for women and above. And she's a little overweight for men, you know what I mean? She doesn't fit my criteria. So I'm now settling for her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's so asinine to think of it like that. What is really settling? Nobody can't pinpoint settling. Just like if you ask a little off topic, but if you ask a person, why are you racist? They can't give you a definitive answer. They was brought up this way, or they saw this, or this happened to them. It's just no answer to it. You know what I mean? So when somebody sit up here, I had someone tell me that I was dating, that she was settling for me, and she had the most baggage, bro. I'm sitting over here with no kids, have a career, and she's sitting over here with X amount of relationships before me. You know what I mean? And she's settling for me, which was wild.
Right. Yeah, I think, and that goes back to the plethora of options. When you feel like you have a million options, you start to act a certain way. You start to look at the person who you're meant to be with, or somebody who's in your zone, or even above you, better than you. Because a lot of people would say, you got no kids, you got a decent job, da 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 da. You're leagues above what she was. But in her mind, she may have warped that because of the options that she is presented on a daily basis.
Absolutely. She's attractive. Females usually have that cadence that they can get any man at any time, no matter what their circumstances are. And a lot of men are waking up to the fact that no, your beauty is not all I want. What's in between your legs is not all I want. What else can you offer me but stress and headaches? What's your current situation and baggage? You cannot offer me anything that I will jump at that'll make my life better or a little bit less stressful, period.
Right. And I think, and I've had this happen where it's the birth. I feel like it's the birthday gift theory. That's what I call it. Let's say you're with somebody for a year and a half, 2 years, not enough, a decent amount of time, but not enough to say that we're locked in. We ain't going nowhere. Run a year and a half type of dating. And it comes around to birthdays. First birthday, y'all just go out together. Let's call it. You just go out. We went out for your birthday. We had dinner, whatever. But now it comes time for gifts. And yeah, women want the big solitaire earrings. They want the purse. They want that. Whatever costs a lot, and that's what a woman wants. And it comes down to
most women.
Say some women. So it'll come down to, well, I'm gonna spend $1,700 on this gift for your birthday. What did I get out of it? Looking back on the year and a half, what did I get out of it? Did you help me make $1,700? Did you save me $1,700? Where's this $1,700? How is this gift warranted, or whatever amount it is? How is this gift warranted?
She
Now,
bought
yeah,
you
you
some
can
socks.
you can whittle it down to, this is your person. You're supposed to go above and beyond. Absolutely, sure, but we don't have any kids. We don't share a home. We don't split bills. We don't do anything like that. We're not tied to each other economically. It's more or less just buy me this because I want it. Or even for a man, hey, the same thing. Hey, buy me this because I want it. So I think what's your thought, what's your view on the amount that somebody has to put into a relationship, or what should you be getting out of a relationship in that road to marriage? Because obviously marriage, you've gotten to the point where we're equaling out. She's making me better, I'm making her better. Now let's
Mm-hmm.
move forward. But in that dating realm, it's a very thin line between I'm going overboard and not doing enough.
Well, that I can definitely relate to that. Past relationships, I had women treat me great, excellent gift givers. Want to do above and beyond things, and I can definitely appreciate a woman that wants to do above and beyond things.
Do
And
you
she's
feel like you were doing enough to warrant those things?
at the beginning, no, because it goes back to the mindset of a woman. It's two types of women. It's a woman that love bomb, and then it's a woman that understands love. A woman that love bomb, they kind of just want to lock you in. They want you to make sure you put them on that pedestal, that they earned that spot at the beginning. And men can do it too. Men can love bomb. And we did an episode previously that dealt with certain things of that criteria. But I have been absolutely taken back to the things that she would do. And I was just like, man, I just want to give it all back to you the same way. But then it started to become less. And then now the dynamic has changed. Now she stopped doing and giving to the capacity that she did. And now it's more judgmental. It's more this, that, and the third in your face. But then that can also go back to maybe she cared a lot about me, that she wanted to see me grow in certain aspects. And I believe that to a certain degree. And that's when it just becomes too much of do the right thing or do that. Now you're nitpicking.
Right.
Now you're looking for a reason to say something to me. Now that's when I know I'm losing you.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm sitting up here and I'm doing my damnedest, I'm doing my best, but no matter what I do, I can I can get you the wrong coffee and put too many sugars in it, and then you find a way to get mad at me about that. That's when I look at it. Now it's going from love to resent. You're resenting me for whatever reason, and you're not talking to me directly.
I think it's a matter of expectations leading to disappointment, which is, it's fun to expect things from your partner, but I think once you put yourself in that mind frame, you owe me this or you owe me that, there's certain things, like things that we've gone over, respect, loyalty, building somebody up. Those things are flat ground. Those things are like, yeah, that's a baseline. If you're lacking in those, then I got room to be mad. When it comes to the nitpicking or this isn't good enough or that isn't good enough, that's when it starts to get into how you're leading with this delusion of, especially if you've never done that in the past, now it starts to get a little weird.
Right.
Well, I'm supposed to know your coffee order now, or she's supposed to know that you like to put your shoes upside down so they air out properly, or whatever it is. Little nitpicking here and there. That's like you said. That's when you start to lose one another.
And that's exactly what happens in a relationship. Listen, I'm gonna give you a perfect dynamic in my little perfect world. This is just my point of view. Has nothing to do with anybody else's. This is basically what it is. If I meet a girl a woman, and we go out and we have fun. She's very upfront. I'm upfront because she is upfront. It makes me feel more comfortable around her, and she's not worried about the grandiose things. She's worried about, hey, man, Starbucks got a new coffee out. You want to try it? Oh, that's cool. Let's try it. Chat it up a little bit. She's into little spontaneous things that leads to bigger excitement throughout it all. She's not looking for base level Gucci bags, Fendi purses, and next shopping spree. When we going to Barbados and all these expensive exotic trips, she's good with the flow. You know what I mean? She gives me respect, love, loyalty, and that's all I ask for. And in turn, I want to give her the world, not to put her on a pedestal, but just to let her understand, listen, I love the way you're moving.
Right.
And vice versa. And I think that goes with balance in a relationship. I'm not worried about your past so much unless you bring it to the forefront of our relationship now. You know what I mean?
Bringing it back to the dating, though, I think that's a good thing as well. I think the expectations not meeting or just looking for those intangibles is lost on the generation that we're in and the times that we're in right now. Just it's the simple things that we were saying earlier, the playful banter or the lack of playful banter being so prevalent to where you can't even break into this rough exterior, this rough outer coating of, man, you can't even get past a certain level because there's so much expectation, there's so much lack of a proper mind frame, there's so much lack of good faith that all those things can't really even evolve.
Absolutely. And you said something earlier about when people come together, it's the expectation of what people want from other people, that you laugh too loud or you just too loud in general and this and third. If you cannot be, you say you can't be yourself and be genuinely you around the person that you're with, you're lost, period.
Right. Absolutely.
If every turn you're being critiqued or you're doing this too much and you start to conform to all of that, that's not a relationship. That's a father and son or a son and daughter type thing, because they're molding you to fit the dynamic that they want you to be and not accepting you for who you are.
Right. So what do you think in the dating market are the things that you should be looking for? What are the dead to rights? Hey, these are the things that are necessary, or these are the things that I don't want.
Listen, the things that I do want is very simple. It's always my 3 bylaws: love, loyalty,
What not so much between you and the person, but what would make the perfect dating market? Excuse me if I put
perfect
that
dating
wrong.
market is someone who's understanding, can meet you where you're at, but
No.
also
The dating market. How, if you could remake the perfect dating market for everybody, hey, these are the guidelines. You have to be able to talk, you have to be able to listen, you have to be able to do this. What would those things be?
let's go off what you're saying. Talk, communicate, listen intently, with intent. You understand? Be upfront and honest about everything that you feel like you can handle, because certain things everybody is not meant to know. Certain things that in the past for a reason. And it has nothing to do with hurt the person. It's not going to make the person change their mind, but it hurts you enough that you don't want to talk about it. That's understandable. Also, being able to counteract each other, being able to say, hey, listen, I have this business idea and I wanted to ask you about it. Introduce each other to new things that y'all can grow upon. Build a foundation first. Foundation is everything. Get to know the quirks, get to understand the things that you probably won't like in that person in order to get to love that person even more. Listen, I know he had this going on. He don't like talk about this much and stuff like that. They triggers. That way, it's not like you're tiptoeing around it, but you're understanding enough not to do it. You understand? Boundaries. Boundaries is another one. You have
Respect people's boundaries. Yeah.
Respect each other's boundaries. You understand? If they come to you with a list of boundaries. You try not to cross them. And if you do cross them, because we're not perfect, if you do cross those boundaries, sit down with the person, tell them what you was thinking, what you was going through, be honest, be upfront,
Right.
and go from there. But that person also has to be able to receive what you're saying moving forward. And I think these are the things that have to happen in a relationship in order for it to be successful. You always got to push each other, but don't push each other overboard. You understand? You always got to communicate with each other. You always got to be honest with each other. But in reality, we're not honest about everything, because that goes back to trauma. It was a lot of times that I haven't been honest about certain things because I want to avoid the argument. I hate arguing. That is one of my boundaries. I don't like arguing. I love my peace. And I'm not doing something that's going to jeopardize us in any type of way. You got to understand that. But if you don't agree with something and I'm still doing what you don't agree with because I don't see the fault in it, we both need to come to an understanding about it.
I think honesty when going out and looking for somebody that you want to be with in the dating market, I think is that's paramount. That's like number one. That's top of the pot. Honesty is always number one. And anybody listening, if you find somebody and maybe they meet all of the other things, and the off chance that they meet 9 out of 10 of the things that you want, and honesty is one of the things that they don't have, that should be the Jenga break. That should topple the whole tower, because that's something that's probably the least conducive thing to a relationship possible. Ultimate honesty is something that you just can't escape in any type of relationship. It was work. If you go to a job and you can't be trusted, or you can't tell the truth, somebody can't trust you to tell the truth, it's a damning thing that you can never get past, because even when you start to tell the truth, that stigma will always be on you. And looking out, if somebody tells you a lie and then they start to tell the truth while dating, it'll never be the same. You can, no matter how forgiving you are, no matter how nice of a person you are, it'll never be the same. You always have that thing in the back of your head. Well, I don't know.
Absolutely. They say it takes years to gain somebody's trust and seconds to lose it.
Not even a
1 second.
completely decimated.
And I am a man that's being honest right now. And that say I have lied, and it was little white lies to me. And it was, like I told you, it was never anything detrimental to my relationship, but it was detrimental enough to her that she had to make the decision that she made. And that's just it. You have to be honest enough to, a lot of people aren't honest for the reasons of what comes next. What it is that you got to allow that person a choice. You have to allow the person the choice.
I think that's that unapologetic truth, that unapologetic honesty. That's like, look, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and you can either deal with it or not, so much in a callous way, but in a way that I need to tell the truth. It's completely necessary to tell the truth, because if it pops back up, it's going to be a worse situation than it ever would have been.
Absolutely.
If you just came clean or been honest from the jump.
Absolutely.
I think ultimate honesty for a man is a number one. That's the number one character trait you should always have, because even if you may not have the most money, you may not be the most handsome dude in the world, you may not be the most flashy or classy or whatever it is, smell the best, but if you're honest, a lot of people are willing to look over all those other things, because that, to most people on the planet, is bar none, is dead to rights. He's an honest person. Everybody wants to have an honest friend. Everybody wants to have an honest partner. Everybody wants to have an honest family, friend, whatever it is. Everybody wants to have that honest, that pillar of, hey, if I don't know anything else, I know they telling the truth.
Absolutely. And you know what's funny about being honest? Guess what, gentlemen? You can be honest with her. Pull her card, because the honesty goes both ways. You have to be honest with what you're doing and what's going on and what she likes and dislikes. And you also have to be honest directly with her with the things that she does that probably get you upset, or vice versa, the things that he do that might get you upset. But be honest with her. Call her out on things that you feel does not bring a benefit to the relationship, yourself, or her. I
And
don't like.
honesty with yourself,
Mm,
for sure. But like you said, both ways. If you doing somebody wrong, just come clear. Especially if you want to go forward and make it serious,
right.
be
Absolutely.
be transparent. If they can deal with it, then that's fine. If they can't, respect that. Give people, like you
Exactly.
said,
It's their
give people
choice
an
at the end of the
option.
day. But give
Yeah.
that person the choice to
Hmm.
walk away or stay. But you was honest enough to be and transparent enough to do so. Like I
Hmm.
said, I am a white liar in the past. I have grown past that plenty of times, and moving forward, even with my past relationship, I was honest toward the end. But the fact that I was dishonest, even if it was white lies,
It
was a lie.
overshadows it a bit.
It overshadows everything.
Hmm.
It destroys everything, and I can accept that.
It's all about getting better too. Even if the things that we're even saying just in this very specific time frame that we're talking right now, these are not things that you got to have on the nail right now. These are things that require constant work. These are things that married people even have to deal with. Hey, I got to make sure that I'm up to snuff. You got to make sure you're up to snuff every single day. You got to make sure that you're working at these things if you feel like you're not in the place that you want to be. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to turn your back on. It's just something that everybody needs to brush up on. And we were saying at the beginning, a lot of things are missed in this modern dating market because there's not a lot of humility, there's not a lot of good faith. And with just those two things, good faith, honesty, humility, you can work it out with anybody as long as both people in the relationship have those things.
Right. And a willingness to
Hmm.
grow and move forward from any situation, because it's a lot of temptation out there, a lot of things that can catch your eye. We're attracted to not just one female, we're attracted to many. She's not attracted to just one man, she's attracted to many.
Hmm.
It's just human nature. But at the end of time, at the end of everything, you have to discern what's for you and what's not for you, period.
Exactly. And that was a perfect place to end it. This has been another discussion with Winnie and Kels. Get in those comments, tell us what you heard, what your opinions are on the subject. Subscribe, and we'll get with you guys later.
Peace.